What is up, green teamers? We are in part two of working an offer today. This is all about creating those estimated net to seller for your sellers so that they can review any potential offer and see what's expected to get to them via check at closing. Let's break it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through an actual offer and use my CTO Agent One app on the other side so that you can see both where I'm getting the information and where I put it in the app to create my estimates. This estimate software is fantastic for creating quick estimates, which we're required to do by law with any offer when we present it to the seller. So let's take a look here. This is the offer here from Katniss Everdeen. The acknowledgement confirmation disclosures is not going to have a lot to deal with the estimate, so we don't really care to look at that when we're building our estimate. However, I highly recommend going through every single page of your offer before you start writing up the estimate. People miss stuff on this all the time, and they're very costly mistakes that usually end up costing the agent's money at closing, and you don't want to be one of those. So let's just take a quick overview, go through, and then we'll go detailed and build our estimate. Initially, we've got a conventional loan. We know there should be a conventional loan addendum. We've got a sale of buyer's property presently under contract, which should not affect our estimate, but it's good to know it's there. And then we've got the cooperative compensation supplement, which will affect the estimate. We've got a purchase price written in of $200,000. We've got a closing date of October 5th. And inclusions are a refrigerator. That won't be on the estimate, but it will affect the seller's overall cost in the transaction. And nothing specific listed here that's going to affect the estimate. We do always want to check for this home warranty. You can see here the seller is agreeing to pay $600 for a home warranty if they agree to this contract. That needs to be reflected in our estimate when we're putting it together. And then if I go down a little further, it doesn't look like there's any other specific costs here for the seller. Again, this is presently under contract. Contingency form won't affect the estimate. The conventional loan could affect the estimate because we have $4,000 in seller paid buyer closing costs listed here. And below that, we've got 3% being paid to the buyer's agent. So both of those are going to affect our estimate. So let's jump over in the CTO Agent One app. I'm going to go back up in the offer to walk through as we do it where I'm getting that from the contract. So first off, purchase price is $200,000. As you guys can see there, I'm going to put in $200,000. The loan type is conventional as marked up here. Commissions are 6%. Remember, my listing fee is 3%. The buyer's agent is requesting 3%. That makes the total commission 6%, so no need to change anything here in my app. I always put in $1,000 for repairs. That just gives my seller the idea that there may be repairs asked for, and usually this gives us the opportunity to be surprised in a good way versus surprised in a bad way when that TRR period happens. Obviously, repairs are negotiable. I just let them know I'm putting in $1,000 just to give you an idea. Miscellaneous, this is the important part that a lot of people miss. So the first thing is I'm going to grab this seller paid buyer closing costs that are listed here in the loan addendum. So I'm going to put in item name, seller paid buyer CC of $1,000. And then I'm going to add in home warranty. Again, we're not telling our seller they have to agree to this. We're just showing them what this offer looks like in terms of real dollars at the end at closing. So that's $600. And then we'll go back. It'll store both of those for us. And we'll want to verify that when we get back to the start, when we get our final sheet. Okay, so it says stored. Property taxes will leave in the default. Seller loan balance we can put in. Let's just say they still owe $100,000. Seller interest rate doesn't matter in this purpose. And then closing date we know is October 5th. Again, we can look up here. Let me show you again. I put the $600 from the home warranty up here from paragraph 12. And then up in paragraph 3, we can see the October 5th closing date. That will affect prepaids and prorations. That's why it's important you put the right date in there. But it won't affect it a ton, but it will change that number. So there we go. I've got all my information added. I can hit compute. This is going to give full closing costs. the net at close that the seller can expect after paying off that $100,000 mortgage, and you can hit detailed closing costs. It's going to give them very specific stuff. It'll show you specifically that home warranty in there for $600. The repairs for $1,000. Again, I'm going to tell my seller that's negotiable. That'll happen during the inspection period, but just putting that in there as an idea. And then that seller paid by our closing costs, it shows $1,000, so I need to edit that. It needs to be 4,000. So we're going to go back and we're going to hit the wheel next to miscellaneous. Seller paid by our closing costs needs to be 4,000. This is how you edit it. To look like that. Okay, so now we hopefully have those numbers right. It's restored them for us. And now we can go back in detail closing costs and see that it's updated at 4,000. You can also see the buyer and the listing agent's fees are in there separately as 3%. So that's broken down nicely for them. Now all we need to do is take this and export it out. This will create a PDF for us. You can also screenshot this to give people a quick overview. But when you're actually looking to get it signed, you'll want to send the full report and get the PDF out. But a screenshot of that sent to your seller gives them a really good quick idea of what any offer would potentially net them. We can take this, email it to ourselves via this up arrow, download the PDF, and get it signed when we're getting the contract signed. Remember, this will have to be signed. If the seller does indeed agree to any specific offer, they will need to sign a net sheet for that specific offer. Hopefully this helps give you guys a really good overview of what it looks like to create that seller estimate, which we are again required by law to provide for any offer we get in. We need to provide a net sheet to our seller, and if they want it in paper form or PDF form, we need to create that for them. Otherwise, maybe just a couple of screenshots of the detailed breakdown here may be good enough for them. We can send that to them, and at least they can review it until we get to the point of actually signing. But that's breaking down a full offer and how it goes in. We'll see you guys in part 3 of working an offer.